Welcome to How To, a Quality Digest series for quality control and quality assurance specialists who need quick instruction on how to get something done. In this episode, we are going to talk about quality dashboards. How do you handle lots of data? Explaining to us how to put an overabundance of data in context is Derek Benson of PQ Systems. So Derek, we've talked in the past about data collection, and there's more data collection going on in quality management systems now than probably any time in the past. And all that data may be overwhelming you with more information than is practical for you to really understand. I mean, just so much data coming in, and what do you do with this? You're overwhelmed. How do you deal with that?
You're right. This is a challenge that we are seeing far and far more commonly. Access to more data is resulting in more demands on quality teams, and they're being asked to scale up. If you asked us a few years ago about the idea of 100% inspection, we would have said that was, an illusion at the time. But what we're finding is it's becoming more and more of a possibility or on the near horizon. This is a really good problem to have if you can come up with a solution to it, to turn all of that data into knowledge and turn that knowledge into good, sound decisions about how to handle your process. The biggest piece of advice on this topic we have for you is to employ technology to do as much of that work as is possible for you, to take some of that effort off of your plate.
And what kind of technology are we talking about?
We're talking about systems, software solutions in place that will do some of that thinking for you. Now let's think of a situation where a quality manager has been asked to manage 150 different processes or metrics on the production line. He obviously doesn't have the time and energy to do that particular request justice, to be constantly monitoring those 150 processes for reasons for his attention to go there. And that's an idea of 150 processes. What if it were 1,500 or 15,000 of those? These are real life scenarios that quality teams are facing. So what do we mean by employ technology? Take a look at SQCPAC's stat board here. Now, what is this doing? It's actually ranking these processes based on how they are behaving, or maybe rather how they're misbehaving. Now, it's up to you to decide what misbehaving means. What we're doing now is ranking a handful of processes based on how many of them are out of control, how many points are out of control on these particular metrics. What this does is it turns 150 processes into, one. We're looking at one screen now instead of 150 charts, and it's telling us where we should really be focusing our attention. We see at the top here the processes or the metrics that are misbehaving the most find their way to the top, and it's telling you very clearly maybe you should spend some time reviewing this particular metric. The others, however, yellow in the middle means that there have been a handful of out of control points on them, and at the bottom, green meaning they are behaving like butter. Everything is going well. No real need to review those particular metrics. Let's save you the time and energy to spend your focus where it's needed the most. Now, as I mentioned here, you can rank several different ways. This is out of control. Maybe you're interested in ranking based on how they're performing regarding to your customers' requirements. How many data points on these control charts are out of spec? Rank by the percentage of either out of control or out of spec. Even further, maybe CPK is the kicker for you guys. Let's put the processes with the lowest CPK at the top of our stat board here and draw our attention to those. Like I mentioned before, more time back in your busy day to save for other things.
Derek, thanks for explaining the value of quality dashboards in order to, how would you say it? I guess to better organize all this massive amount of data that's coming in and put it in a way that makes sense.
You're right. It's all about turning that data into sound business decisions and hopefully result in good outcomes.
Okay. Derek, thanks a lot.